Hello and welcome to Bleed. This is the show about advertising and more with me, Ryan Whyte. I'm a freelance graphic designer. And when I say show, I basically mean me talking into a laptop and recording it and then uploading it onto YouTube for you guys to watch and also listen to on Spotify or your favorite podcast player. So today I'm not joined by Jacque Moodley, art director. I am just going to be highlighting the final episode of season 1 of Bleed interviews. Okay, so highlights from the final episode of season 1 of Bleed interviews, episode 5, Climbing in VR, featuring me, Ryan Whyte, freelance graphic designer, Jacque Moodley, permanent art director, and Victor Jacobs, digital creative director, animator, motion graphic specialist, augmented reality and virtual reality enthusiast, 3D animator, the list goes on with Victor. So some of the discussions and conversations we had in this episode. We had quite a good conversation, or quite an interesting conversation about early use of visual effects, digital visual effects in movies, and that led us onto a conversation about movies like Final Fantasy, Jurassic Park. There was a bit of Star Wars in there, and then we came across the famous and infamous movie Avatar, and that kind of led us onto a conversation about a nightclub that opened up in Johannesburg, South Africa, which was called Avastar, and it's basically a knockoff of the movie Avatar, and very tastefully done club in a very nice part of Johannesburg where they just themed everything Avatar. And I mean, this place was amazing. It had laser shows, it had fire, like flamethrowers, exotic dances. Can you use that word? Is that a PC term to use, exotic dancer? Anyways, we will add the link to Mike Basson and he can explain to you exactly what Avastar is. The clip I'm going to play for you is, it may just feature Mike Basson. I'm going to play the conversation we had, highlight from that particular episode where we speak about early visual effects and Avastar. And yeah, enjoy.
Avatar was the first 3D movie I ever saw. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen a 3D movie as good since.
Yeah.
There's been so many 3D movies after that, and I was blown away by Avatar. And I don't know if it was because it was the first one. Actually, no, because I watched Avatar the other day, on a TV.
It's so good.
It's fucking amazing.
It's so good, yeah.
The 3D was amazing. They really used it.
Yeah, I wish I knew their pipeline, but it's quite. I mean, James Cameron is a huge techie, and he loves technology, and he pushes it to the extreme, and that's why it's still amazing.
Yeah. And
I mean, I think Avengers just passed the Avatar mark in terms of
revenue.
Yeah. So Avatar has been quite a hit for a while now.
Yeah, but have you ever been to a club that's better than Avastar? That's what I want to know. You may not have seen better 3D movies than Avatar.
I wanted to go to Everest because it looked like.
Did you go?
No, I didn't go.
So for people who don't know what Avastar is.
If you go down the strip of Vegas, all of the hotels there is theme-based hotels. And we created Avastar themed nightclub based around the movie Avatar. But now, instead of doing it 3D, we created a virtual reality of effect of taking nature and creating it with modern technology in what we created here. It will be mind-blowing when you come to Avastar and see what we've created here.
So yeah, hope you guys enjoy Googling the nightclub Avastar. And yeah, hit that video up with a like, follow Mike Basson. The next clip I'm going to play you is the discussion we had involving the application of virtual reality and augmented reality in terms of being in cinema, like a real life cinema with, well, not a real life cinema, virtual cinema, where you can watch a movie with other people, and what you're able to do in this particular application. So yeah, we discussed that, and I suppose that kind of a thing will come in handy nowadays where we aren't allowed to be in the same room as other people, other strangers, in case people sneeze or cough. You know, things may happen, people may fall ill, so just be safe out there, I suppose. Nice little public service announcement from me talking into a laptop. Okay, so I'm going to play this clip of this awesome application of watching movies with other people, and yeah, with the use of virtual reality technology. Enjoy.
I mean, what was hit most quite a bit, one of the business the theaters
During the pandemic.
During this pandemic, that was hit quite hard this past few months. It didn't stress me much because I use an app called Big Screen, and I was watching movies on the big screen in VR. And it's
With
almost,
other people.
With other people.
Live
You're
people.
kidding me.
With other people.
No, you're
And
kidding
then,
me.
because you have popcorn, virtual popcorn, you can throw it at people, and then you can draw inside Big Screen, and you can like do a smiley face and say hello. And
You're living a whole nother life. Dude.
But then
You're in the Matrix. You're
I mean,
in what?
That's why I was like, when I saw this sort of stuff, I was like, this is the Matrix, but I can put on my head. I
yeah.
was like,
And you can open up another window. So like say for instance, there's a football game you want to catch. You got the
Yes.
big screen, just open that, your WhatsApp window there.
yeah, so you can
FaceTime with
have,
Abby there.
yes, you can have multiple desktops. Let's show
You
you.
know I'm gonna go home today and try to figure out how to do this in my life.
It's
Yeah.
quite cool. You can have multiple desktops, and then Facebook's also they're also partnering with Logitech,
Oh yeah?
so you can use a keyboard,
Mm.
one of the keyboards with the headset. There's also pens now. Now there's pens that you can use to. So now this is tapping into design and
Yeah, I was gonna
being
say.
creative now with this technology, and it's crazy. I am a fan for life in VR.
Imagine showing client, like you have a client meeting. Okay, so everyone put your headsets on. Can you hear me? Is your mic on? James says, okay, cool. So over here we've got our new layout for the campaign.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and the client will like pull out their pen. I don't like this thing. And I
Oh,
don't like this
boy.
thing. We're joking, but this sounds like what the reality is going to be.
Yeah.
Client meetings are going to be in VR, and they're going to be like making changes on your layout.
Yeah,
And
and
like
throw virtual food at them and stuff.
oh, or poo.
Yeah.
Like, I hate
Yeah.
this layout.
Can you imagine what Fortnite's going to be like in 20 years or whatever? It's just
Yeah.
going to be kids in VR, and you get home and your kids like.
Yeah, I mean,
My kid's already ahead in technology. Like he watches like YouTube games and like Minecraft and all stuff. And I try to play Minecraft with him. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
No,
And I like
I-
realized I'm old now.
yeah,
And he's like, Dad, you have to mine the plutonium so you can craft the sword, and you need the diamond sword to like get the. I'm just
To the
like,
netherworld.
Yeah.
What's going on? I was like,
Yeah.
he's ahead of me now already, and he's getting like an Xbox for Christmas. Cole, if you're watching, you didn't hear it from me. And like, I know that in like 2-3 years he's gonna be way ahead of me in
Yeah.
technology, and I'm like on the back of it. I'm gonna be asking him how to like open an app or something.
yeah, it's getting crazy, and the kids now are like they're in a good space now, and they're experiencing all this technology now.
He's gonna grow up with like VR.
Yeah,
His
no, probably
world
you're
is
gonna be getting him a VR headset pretty soon.
I want to get a VR headset. Just when you sold me a VR. I'm getting a VR fan. Maybe I'll watch Star Wars and get VR today.
Trust me, I mean, this is what's cool now about an app like Big Screen. And for example, you and your son can watch a movie together in VR in
Separate rooms.
in separate rooms, but in the same virtual world.
Oh, okay,
and
gotcha.
experience it in 3D. So these 3D movies that you get at the cinemas,
Yeah.
you can actually
Oh, I see it. Comes
do it at
at
home,
you
and
and-
it's actually more epic than an IMAX screen.
Mm.
How do you get big screen? Like full.
It's a free app on the Oculus store, and sometimes I just watch trailers, the 3D trailers like Transformers, and it's just like I just watch trailers. I'm watching like Titanic in 3D.
Yeah.
It's like whoa, this is quite
Yeah.
epic.
You were telling me like you even do your 3D sculpting in VR.
Yeah.
So instead of
Yes.
sitting there with the like a Wacom tablet
Yeah.
and a screen, you just load a piece of clay and then you change your textures and you use the gloves to physically
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I can tell you a little bit about that software. It's called Medium.
Mhm.
So it was first called Oculus Medium.
Mhm.
So look, Facebook's putting a lot of money into VR. They are really like building this platform, and it's awesome. And it's amazing what they're doing to build the industry, and it's working. So they also created creative apps like Oculus Medium and Quill. Quill is a 3D painting application. So if you're a painter, you can paint in VR.
Sure.
And you can also animate in VR. It's weird doing strokes, and it has depth to it.
Yeah. I think I saw something like that.
Yeah, so Oculus Medium, they if you look on YouTube, you'll see these competitions, and it's in Tokyo. There's a whole bunch of medium artists out there, and yes, it's a VR sculpting tool, and you can start with and it's voxel based. So what that means is you can do whatever, and whatever you sculpt, it's gonna take that form. So to conceptualize, it's the thing is you can do a little car, you can model a little car or a monster, whatever, and then you can blow it up at the size of a huge building and look at this thing as if it's a huge giant.
In context with like skyscrapers.
With skyscrapers and stuff. It's
I just
like
think if I was a kid now,
Dude.
like my little drawing, like on like a piece of paper with like my Koki pens, to make it feel real and have it around me and like see it at scale.
yeah.
Whoa.
That is crazy.
So that's what got me. I mean, and being a 3D artist and going into this world is like a huge shift. And if you watch Instagram videos, and if you follow a few people on Instagram, it is becoming like you just see a lot of people's work that's been done in VR. And to sculpt in VR is literally amazing. There is a rule though at night when I'm doing VR, because when it's dark and it's like, and I'm busy sculpting whatever, and she just does this, it will freak you out.
Oh yeah, it's late.
So that's
everything's
late,
quiet.
It's quiet, and I've got
Good
earphones
thing.
on. I'm jamming tunes.
Okay.
I'm jamming my music, and I'm in this world. So when you're in that space, everything else around you does not exist.
Sure.
I'd love to punk you one time, like while you're
And
doing that,
it
you
is-
just change the room in real life.
It's just I wish there was a detection thing for the.
Oh, I see.
So if someone came into your space,
Yeah,
So now if someone touches you,
Like a parking.
Yeah, exactly. PCB for VR.
it's
Listen, I might have just invented a new.
Yeah, it's a new tech. Yeah.
So, listen, we'll talk about it later.
So that sums up today's show. I call it a show. It's just me talking into laptop, as previously stated. That brings us to the end of the highlights reel of episode 5, final episode of season 1, entitled Climbing in VR, featuring Victor Jacobs, Jacque Moodley, and me, Ryan Whyte. And that's just a nice way to kind of sum up what happened in that episode. If you don't feel like watching the full episode, we'll just give you the broad strokes of what we discussed. Most of it's nonsensical anyways, and foolish banter, but maybe some people are interested in that, and maybe my highlights aren't your highlights, so maybe you want to watch the whole episode, because you may find a gem that really tickles your fancy. Oh, that sounds bad. I'm just going to leave that in. So what do we have to look forward to in the greater Bleed ecosystem? And I can tell you that the final episode of season 2 is coming out in a few weeks, and that is featuring Bernice Puleng, who is a writer, a poet, and just generally an awkward human being. if that sounds like something you'd want to see or someone you'd like to get to know, then stay tuned for that episode. And it's kind of nice, we've just highlighted the final episode of season 1, and we're previewing the final episode of season 2. And nice little golden thread, nice synergy, if you will. And yeah, I just think it's great that we can use language like season and episode and stuff, and it's almost as if we have a real show, and it's not just me talking to a laptop, and it's not just laptops and microphones, you know, and just people staring into them and cameras. It's an actual fully fledged show that you can watch. How amazing. What else is there to look forward to? On Instagram, we've started a little Bleed Beats thing where you can kind of dedicate your own songs and have them featured on our Instagram stories feed every Friday. You can look forward to Bleed Extra, where Jacque and I will talk into our respective laptops in different parts of Johannesburg, and that's basically a Zoom call where we talk absolute nonsense about advertising, not about advertising. And yeah, so lots and lots of things to look forward to, and it's all free, which is great. All it takes is your time. Who would want to pay for this? Who would even want to use their free time on this? At least 4 people a week say that this is something that's worth their while. So anyways, I've rambled on for long enough, so enjoy your weekend, and I will maybe see you soon or not.